You're like. Hi everybody, my name is Phalgun Kompalli and I'm one of the co-founders of upGrad. First of all, really apologize for the delay. We've been waiting for Professor Paulo. As you know, in the UK, the time right now is 1:45 in the day, and I think Professor is running late from a class. So we're expecting Professor Paulo to join in a few minutes, but I thought we should start off and start talking about some of the questions that you guys had and discuss the MSc in Data Science and the MSc in Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence programs that we're launching in collaboration with IIIT Bangalore and Liverpool John Moores University. So to first off, welcome to all of you. As I mentioned, my name is Phalgun Kompalli and I'm one of the co-founders of upGrad. The other guest today, as you know, is Professor Paulo. Professor Paulo is the head of Department of Applied Mathematics at Liverpool John Moores University, and his research focus is advanced data analysis for decision support, in particular with applications to personalized medicine, public health, sports analytics, and digital marketing. So he's a very distinguished research professor at LJMU, and as I mentioned earlier, the head of the Applied Mathematics department there. Moving on, I think the main agenda for the webinar today was to give you all a sense of the MSc in Data Science and the MSc in Machine Learning programs that we have launched with Liverpool John Moores University. So just to give you a broad sense of the configuration of the program, I think this is a great value proposition where this is the first of its kind online, completely online masters that we have launched for people so that they can continue to work while they're pursuing this program. And it's also available at 1/10 the cost as an on-campus degree. So the degree that you get, which is an MSc in Data Science, at the end of this particular course is the exact same one that you would get on campus. And the on-campus one would cost you roughly 10 times more. So it's a great value proposition that we have put in place. And the way it works is that it is an 18-month program. The first 12 months is in collaboration with IIIT Bangalore, where the IIIT Bangalore faculty will be delivering a 12-month PG program. And post successful completion of that, you will actually get a PG program credential from IIIT Bangalore. Post that, you do a 6 to 7 month top up from Liverpool John Moores University, where the Liverpool John Moores faculty will cover two broad modules. The first is on research methodologies, and the next big module is going to be on a dissertation project, where we have a list of dissertation projects that upGrad has put together, that LJMU has put together, and you also from your work can bring projects if you're interested in bringing them. So you can choose a project that you want to work on, and that will be your dissertation project, which then you finally submit that dissertation project. And if you successfully complete that, at that point, you get the MSc in Data Science. So that's the full 18-month journey, where the first 11-12 months is going to be the PG program from IIIT Bangalore. Then the 6 to 7 months after that is going to be a top-up from Liverpool John Moores University, where 6 weeks are going to be a research methodologies module, and the next 5 months are going to be a dissertation project. So as I mentioned earlier, I think the key value proposition here is that this is the exact same degree that you would get on campus, the MSc Data Science from Liverpool John Moores University. But one, you're able to do it at the convenience of not having to travel, do it part-time because you can then continue to work, and also at a significantly lower cost, roughly 1/10 the cost of the on-campus degree. A lot of you had questions around the program curriculum itself. So the way the program is structured is that the PG program in IIIT Bangalore covers 6 courses and a capstone project. And as I mentioned earlier, the top-up masters contains 2 modules. One is on research methodologies, and the other one is on the dissertation project, where you have to apply all the learnings that you have. You have to pick a project. You have to detail out that project in terms of how you want to do the research and how you want to solve a particular problem, and then work on it for 5 to 6 months with constant guidance from a postdoctorate fellow at Liverpool John Moores University in order to successfully complete that particular dissertation project. So that's going to be the broad flow of the entire thing. So before we dive into the curriculum, I think there were a lot of questions that people had, which you have sent in. So first I will try and cover those quickly. And then once Professor Paulo joins, we can also get into the curriculum of the course and how it's going to be delivered. So the first question that most of you had is in terms of finance options. So for the master's program, the way it is structured is that the PG program typically costs about 2.85 lakh, and the top-up masters cost about 2 lakh rupees. And the first cohort for the program that we're launching right now is going to cost you 4.5 lakh with a 35,000 early bird discount. So the PGP itself is 2.85 lakh and the master's top-up is for 2 lakh rupees. But given that this is the first cohort that we are launching, there's an early bird scholarship of 35,000 that you can avail if you block your seat over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Just also to highlight that given that this is a master's program, there is going to be significant load for the faculty involved to evaluate your master's proposals and then finally grade them and give you feedback on those master's proposals. The cohort size is always going to be limited. So the first cohort, we are only planning to launch with about 50 students. And most of you have given the test on the last weekend, and we have released offer letters and have shortlisted about 600 folks. So of these 600 folks, the first 50 who are interested in doing the master's program will be eligible to do it. So it's on a first come, first serve basis. So I would advise that if anybody is interested, please do go ahead and block your seat immediately. The second question was on finance options. We have a lot of financial options in terms of EMIs that are offered to students. We have a 12-month 0% EMI option where you can pay the entire fee over 12 months with 0% interest. We also have 6-month, 9-month, 18-month, 24-month, and 36-month installment options with some interest implications. So all of those payment options are available for you. And I think they'll be clearly available for you to see once you go to our payment portal, where you can select what is the tenure that you want. And based on that, if it's 12 months, we have a 0% EMI option. Otherwise, there is a certain interest implication that will be very clear to you in terms of the duration and the tenure that you picked. The next question is around, a lot of people have asked a question around the validity of the course for a PhD in India or abroad. If you are applying for a UK PhD, given that there is a UK master's, it will definitely be applicable. In the US, in Canada, and Australia, what happens is that typically if you do a master's from an international country and apply it to another country, the master's is not as per regulation required to be accepted. But what most universities do is that they do understand that you have done a master's. So they look at the university you've done it from, they look at the subject matter and the project or the dissertation project that you've worked on and your PhD topic to see what the level of overlap is. And based on that, this will significantly help you with two aspects when you're applying for a PhD. One is that it will increase your profile strength, where you already have a master's in data science. So that will improve your profile and help you get admission to a better university or into a better PhD program with a better faculty member. So that's the first thing it will help you with. The second thing it will help you with is the tenure of your PhD. Say typically a PhD takes about 6 to 7 years. If you have done part of the work as part of your master's and if there's overlap, it will also help you reduce the tenure of your PhD by 6, 12, 18 months, depending upon that overlap. So that is the second way in which it's going to help you. Similarly, for PhD applications in India, as I said, as per law, it is not mandated to be accepted, but most universities on a case-by-case basis look at the work you have done in your master's programs. Specifically for the PhD program in IIIT Bangalore, where the minimum base condition is that you need to have a master's to apply for a PhD program. People who have done this master's program will be eligible to apply for the PhD program at IIIT Bangalore, as they have said that they will accept this as a full master's program. The next question, a lot of people have asked questions around career opportunities and placement assurance. So obviously, being an education provider, nobody can assure placements. There's a lot of work that we put in to talk to the industry to make sure that we understand the skills that you require to succeed in the industry and to find placement opportunities. What we also do is we train you during the program, not only on the academic aspects of it, where, as we said, we will get into the curriculum. There are a lot of skills that we try and build into the program that you will pick up. But we also make sure that we holistically train you on industry case studies. We train you on how to crack interviews. And we also have a portal where we provide opportunities that you can apply for based on your interests. So apart from the academic support that you get, there is also a lot of career support services that we provide in terms of helping you make a profile, helping you put your CV together, preparing you for interviews, and giving you access to opportunities in the areas of data science based on our industry relationships, based on the industry relationships that IIIT Bangalore has, and now based on the industry relationships that Liverpool John Moores University has. So all of those opportunities will be presented to you, and you can apply for those based on your particular interest. And then, as I mentioned earlier, upGrad will help you prepare for those opportunities, not only from an academic standpoint, but also from a non-academic standpoint in terms of the softer aspects, like making a great CV, how do you crack an interview, something as simple as introduce yourself in the most charming way possible. I think all of that is something that we make sure is covered as part of the program to give you a great chance and also increase the odds of your success when it comes to a career transition. The last one was a lot of people also had questions around the time commitment that is required for the program. How much time to be devoted for this course? So what we expect is that students devote about 10 to 12 hours every week for the program. So as a working professional, what is expected of you is that you commit 10 to 12 hours every week. So typically, most students, what they do is they do about an hour during the weekdays. So that's about 5 hours. And beyond that, they have about 3 hours that they do on Saturday and Sunday. So that comes to about 11 to 12 hours. So that's typically how students manage the workload. Some courses are easier, some courses are slightly tough. So there will be some fluctuations in terms of the load that is there. But roughly on average, we expect it to be about 10 to 12 hours every week in terms of the time commitment for the 18-month period for you to be successfully completing the master's program. A lot of you have also sent in questions saying that, look, it is a very rigorous program and you get a sense that for 18 months, you guys will have to commit to 10 to 12 hours. A lot of you mentioned that you're not sure whether you're ready for such commitment or not and whether you will be able to complete it or not. What I can tell you is that our PG program in data science for IIIT Bangalore that we have, it's also a 12-month program, as you know, and that also requires about 12 hours a week of commitment. So far, we have about 2,500 to 3,000 people who have successfully completed that program. And our completion rate is 90% plus. So for every 100 people who joined the program, 90% plus people successfully complete the program, which means that we've been able to help them to structure their time and motivate and inspire them on a constant basis over the 12 to 18-month period in order for them to successfully complete the program. So at upGrad level, we also make sure that the content that you have, the technology platform that you're working on, and the kind of assignments that are provided and the kind of support services that are provided give you a seamless, engaging learning experience. And we also make sure that we constantly push you and motivate you to successfully complete the program. So for all of you who have doubts around your own motivation, you need to be clear about two things. At first, you need to commit to 10 to 12 hours every week. Post that, there is a lot of work that upGrad also does to nudge you, to make sure that we are there to support and help you successfully complete the program. There were other questions around particularly career transitions, right? So I will pick some of these questions up. The first question was from Abhijit Jaiswal, who said, will the master's degree be considered if I want to do a PhD in future? I think I've already answered that question, Abhijit. It will be considered. It will help you with two things. One, it will help you increase your profile and get accepted to a better university and to a better PhD program / faculty. And second, it will help you reduce the tenure of your PhD program. The second question is from Mukul. What is the eligibility criteria to enter the course? We have an entrance exam that you have to give. It's a 20-minute entrance test. And based on that performance in the entrance test and your profile, we shortlist people. This weekend, the last weekend, there are about 1,000 people who have given the test, and we have shortlisted about 550 of those people. So as I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in the program, you should really very quickly go ahead and give the test if you have not. If you've given the test and you're shortlisted, congratulations for that. But as I said, we have a very limited cohort of 50 students that we're going to launch March 31st. So the launch date for the cohort is March 31st, and it's going to be a cohort of about 50 students. So if you're interested, please go ahead and block your seat immediately, because this is on a first come, first serve basis for the students who get shortlisted. And for the first cohort, we also have an early bird discount of 35,000 rupees. The next question is from Philip. The possibility of career switch learning from data science for somebody who does not, for a banker who comes from with no experience in the data science field. So Philip, that's a good question. There are a lot of cases where we see that people, especially in the area of banking and finance, if you look at the broad applications of analytics, they're in the area of banking and finance, they're in the areas of retail, and they're in the areas of healthcare, telecom. So I think there are significant applications of data science in the areas of banking, and we have seen a lot of people come in from the area of banking with absolutely no background in the area of data science. Especially this particular program in data science does not require for you to have any strong coding background or any strong background in data science. So it builds from a low foundation, but it makes sure that we put you at a skill level that will give you and open up opportunities in the areas of data science in banking and other sectors as well. The next question is from Somashekar, what are the various master's degrees available? So there are 2 master's degrees that we have launched with Liverpool John Moores University. The first is an MSc in data science, and the second one is an MSc in artificial intelligence and machine learning. The next question is from Tahir. Difference between PG certificate, PG program, and master's degree as offered by upGrad and their respective benefits. So what we will do is we'll send you a detailed email about the features of each of these programs and what are the benefits, expected benefits that you should know of from each of these. But broadly, Tahir, the difference is that the PG certificate program is a 6-month program. The PG program is a 12-month program, and the master's degree is an 18-month program, right? So actually the way it is structured is that they're built on each other, right? So if you look at the master's 18-month program, in a very crude way, I can tell you that the first 6 months of the master's program is the PG certificate program, and the first 12 months of the master's program is the PG program. So in terms of skill level, they stack up, right? So for example, a lot of people might feel like, I do not want to have an advanced master's in data science because that is not my aspiration, and I want to do something quick and dirty, or I want to test waters. And for them, there is a 6-month PG certificate in data science. And similarly, at a 12-month level, there's a cutoff where we have said that if people are not interested in pursuing a full master's, they also have a PG program, which is a 12-month program in data science from IIIT Bangalore. So that is the broad difference. So crudely, the 18-month master's, the first 6 months is the PG certificate, and the first 12 months is the PG program, and the full 18-month is the master's degree. But that's a good question. So what we will do is we will give you a neat email listing down the features for each of these 3 programs and how they're different and what kind of benefits you should expect from each one of those. The next question is from Love Agarwal. Can I get any financial assistance for the program or scholarship? As I said, from a financial assistance standpoint, we have tied up with a couple of our partners like Zest, who will help you with EMI options, and you can select the tenure. We have a 12-month 0% EMI option that you can choose, where you can pay the course fee over 12 months without paying any interest. You can also select different tenures based on what is suitable for you, and there'll be some interest implication if it's not 12 months. So all of those options are available once you reach our payment portal. And in terms of scholarships, I mentioned earlier that for the first cohort, where we have a limited capacity of 50 students, we have an early bird scholarship of 35,000 rupees. So on the program fee of 4.85 lakh, you get an early bird scholarship of 35,000 INR. So your effective program fee will be 4.5 lakh. And again, I just want to highlight that the same degree and the same certification, it's the one that you would get on campus and MSc in data science, would cost you roughly 10 times if you were doing it on campus in Liverpool John Moores University. The next question is from Joseph. Payments and post start dates, how do we receive the certificates, and is it IIIT Bangalore certified or in collaboration with IIIT Bangalore? Joseph, I hope I have answered your question. The course starts March 31st. From a payment standpoint, you first need to be shortlisted for the program. The way the shortlisting process works, or the application process works, is that you need to go apply on the website and you have to give a 20-minute test. Based on your profile and your performance in the test, we either reject you or we accept the application. If your application is accepted, which means you're shortlisted for the program, then you can go ahead and pay on the payment portal, which will automatically be directed to. And from a certification standpoint, yes, it is a joint program in that sense, where you will get a PG certification from IIIT Bangalore, and you will also get an MSc degree from Liverpool John Moores University. So you'll get both certificates. The next question is from Abhilash. I wanted to apply for the course, but I do not have any relevant work experience, and what assistance of jobs and placements can you provide? So I think, Abhilash, I did explain this in quite a bit of detail. As I mentioned, for the particular MSc in data science, we do not need people to have previous data science experience. You will go through the program and build the skills that are required. And we do offer career assistance and support services in terms of, one, academically making sure that you're robust. Beyond that, also helping you in terms of cracking the interview and the entire placement process, starting from making your CV, how to talk to interviewers, how to prepare for an interview, and then also exposing you to opportunities in various companies where you can apply for based on your interest. The next question is from Shashi. I'm a BTech plus MBA with 2 years experience in FMCG company and I want to switch to data sciences. Can this course help out? Yes, as I said, one of the biggest applications of analytics is in the areas of retail. And we have a lot of students where they have come from a retail and FMCG background, done our data science or machine learning programs and then moved into those particular roles. So I think this course can definitely help you out with that transition, where you will have to build that skill and look for the right opportunity which can give you the chance to transition. The next question is from Gopal Mishra. Course duration, fee, affiliation, and future scope. So I think I've covered this again. The course duration for the masters is 18 months. The fee is 4.85 lakh with first cohort early bird scholarship of 35,000. Affiliation is with 2 universities. You will get a PG program from IIIT Bangalore. That is the first credential you will get. And the second credential is an actual master's and MSc degree from Liverpool John Moores University in data science. The next question is from Arjun Banerjee, sorry. Will possible application areas of ML and AI be discussed? Yes, there will be a lot of application areas of ML and AI that will be discussed. There will also be a lot of case studies that you will work on. And you will also be working on a final dissertation project where you will have to pick up a fairly open-ended problem statement, define the problem in a very detailed manner, and then go ahead and starting from research and data collection to software generation, you will have to do the end-to-end project to make sure that you can successfully complete the program. The next question is from Mohsin. Does this program help in further studies from the university? Does it add credit in future if I do a PhD MPhil? Yes, I think I've answered this question, Mohsin, twice. So hope that answers your, that clarifies your doubt. The next question is from Rohit. Are we supposed to give any extra exams such as GRE, IELTS, etc.? No. Though the answer is no. As I mentioned earlier, the admissions process is that you need to go onto our website and fill the application form and give the test. So you need not give it. But if you have already given your GRE or GMAT or CAT or some other exam, based on your score there, you can be exempt from the application process, which means that you need not give the test. And based on your GRE, GMAT score, if you cross a certain threshold, we can exempt you and shortlist you for the program. The next question is from Amin S. She has a lot of questions. The first is, how different is the program from similar programs offered by competitors such as Coursera? So the first question there is that I think I've talked about this earlier. I think the learning experience that we provide for is very different. A lot of people find it a struggle to complete long-term programs online. But as I told you, our completion rate is 90% plus. So for every 100 students who join the program, 90% plus students actually successfully complete the program, which is not true on a Coursera or any other platform for that matter. And the reason that we're able to do it is that we create great content. We have a full studio set up where we think of how do you create Game of Thrones or HBO level content, which is very engaging and you do not want to switch off without watching the next episode. So there's a lot of work we do on that front with the academic faculty and also with industry experts. The second is the learning platform itself, where we have created an in-house learning platform from scratch to build in various learning elements, to build in interactivity, a great discussion forum to support engagement. So all of that is part of the learning platform that you will be working on. And then finally, the support services that I talked about earlier. The academic support which you get in terms of query resolution, any question that you have, our TAs and the discussion forum will help you resolve for that. We have non-academic support in terms of making sure that you have a dedicated mentor and a student support person for any query you have, starting from as simple as login not working to helping you with deadlines, etc. So there's a lot of non-academic support that we provide. And then finally, the career support services that I elaborated earlier. So a combination of all these three helps us build an end-to-end learning experience to keep you engaged and motivated to complete an 18-month course successfully. So I think that's the biggest difference. And also from a credential standpoint, this is, according to my knowledge, the only fully online masters that you can do in the area of data science and machine learning. So this gives you the flexibility to actually pursue and get the same degree that you would get on campus at a significantly lower cost. So I think that's the second big difference. And your second question is, how should I compare an online master's degree with an on-campus master's degree? Will an online degree carry equal value? Yes, absolutely. I think I already answered this question. The degree that you get will be the absolute same one as the people are getting on campus. Will the interested students get to visit the Liverpool John Moores University if required for a short period during the course? Yes, some of the interested students if you're willing to go to Liverpool John Moores University, you will get a Liverpool John Moores University email ID immediately when you register for the program. With that email ID, you will have access to their full digital library for the duration of the program, where you can log into the digital library and get access to various books and journals. You will also be an LJMU alumni. So if you're interested in pursuing going to campus for whatever interest you have, I think that's definitely possible. The next question is the duration of the course flexible, or do I have to complete in the stipulated time period? It is stipulated. You will have to complete it. Some flexibility, maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks at best, but you will have to complete it around the 18-month period, because you have examinations at various points you have to complete successfully in order to move forward in the program. What you can do, worst case, is that if you're not able to move forward, you can defer to the next cohort. Say that, look, I've completed 3/4 of the program, but I'm going to defer 3 months and then start and complete the other 25%. So we allow for deferrals in some cases, but otherwise you're expected to complete in a stipulated time period. The next question is, will I get alumni status from both Liverpool John Moores University and IIIT Bangalore? The answer is yes, you will get alumni status from both Liverpool John Moores University and IIIT Bangalore. The next question is there a chance to opt out after 11 months and get the certificate only from IIIT Bangalore? If yes, how does this work? So, I mean, the answer is no. If you're applying for the full master's program, you cannot opt out after 11 months. You have to complete the full 18-month program. And as I said, you might defer to the next cohort, but you cannot opt out in terms of not completing. So what you can do is you can opt out and say that, look, I don't want to pursue the master's anymore. I've got the IIIT Bangalore certificate, so I'm happy. But what we strongly recommend is that you do complete the other 6 months to get a master's. So you cannot opt out and ask for a refund. What you can do is you can take a break and defer to the next cohort if you want to take a break. But it's not advisable to do that and break the flow of your entire learning experience. Ajit Jacob has the next question. Will I be taught to practice case studies, etc. directly on to like Python and R in the course? Yes, absolutely. So as part of the program, we will teach you multiple programming languages and tools that are required for you to be a successful data scientist. And as part of that, Python and R are involved. And most of the case studies that you will be working on are going to be either in Python or R. Next question is from Pulak. Is it an accredited course? After completion, will I get considered a postgraduate or a master's degree holder? So it is definitely an accredited course. It's accredited by the QAA, which is the Quality Assurance for Higher Education in the UK. So it's approved by the UK Ministry, Education Ministry. And after this, you will be considered a master's degree holder. So the next question is from Satyajit. How is the weightage between math and stats and programming divided for the course as a whole? So we have various courses in the 18-month program, Satyajit. And there is a course on statistics and exploratory data analytics. And then post that, there are courses on machine learning and advanced machine learning, which is where a lot of the programming part will be involved. So all of these courses have individual credits. So based on the credits, you will have the weight. That will be clear for you once we talk about the course structure and the various things that we covered. So again, I think there are some questions around eligibility and everything that I've already covered. So I think most of the questions are covered. So now what I will do is I will just see if there are any other new questions coming in. I think another question was, is the postdoc fellow who's going to help us with this particular master's thesis, will he be dedicated to helping the MSc learners? Yes, there's specifically a postdoc fellow at LJMU who's been appointed to make sure that he's facilitating just this part of the MSc program with upGrad, where he will help all of our MSc learners with the research methodologies module and also the dissertation project to help them successfully complete that. Great. So I think most of the questions are answered. So what I will do now is, as we discussed earlier, I will try and cover what the exact curriculum is going to be. Right. So the way the course is structured is that, you know, it's an 18-month program. With the first 12 months is the PG program, and the next 6 months after combining with the 12 months is the entire master's program. So what we do is we typically give students access to preparatory content where they can prep for learning a lot of languages, like somebody asked me earlier. So these languages could include, what they include in the preparatory content is how do you do data analysis in Excel. there is Python, and there is visualization using Tableau. So these are the three things that we cover as part of the preparatory content, so that you can start already understanding and already preparing for the programming languages that are required. Then, as I mentioned earlier, the next course is in statistics and exploratory data analytics, where we talk about a lot of concepts like analytical problem solving, exploratory data analytics, hypothesis testing, inferential statistics, how do you visualize data in Python, etc. And all of these courses generally end with a case study. In the case of statistics and exploratory data analytics, we end with a case study on Uber, where the head of data science at Uber actually comes and gives you a problem statement saying that, look, this is the problem that you're facing at Uber. Can you try and solve it with whatever you have learned? So you're given a data set that you have to then work on based on the learnings of the statistics and EDA course, and then submit that particular assignment on which you will get graded and you'll also get the feedback. Post that, the next course is Machine Learning 1. Where we cover topics like linear regression, logistic regressions, SVM, unsupervised learning, and supervised learning. And then again, there will be a case study at the end of it. Post that, we have Machine Learning 2, which is the next course, which is slightly advanced version of Machine Learning 1, where we cover topics like advanced regression, boosting, tree models, time series, neural networks, and how do you do model selection based on the particular problem and the applicability there. Then what we also briefly cover is big data and SQL as part of the next course, which is course 5. And then course 6, after that is a capstone project. What we do in course 6 is give you the option to elect one of the courses that we have. So this will either be in deep learning and neural networks, or you can choose to do natural language processing, or you can choose to do an elective in the sectors of healthcare, e-commerce, or BFSI. Right? So you can select one of these and then make sure that you do that particular elective, and then it ends with a capstone project. So that's roughly how the course is structured. Now, this is where the PGP ends. Post you have done all of these 6 courses, and the capstone project is where the PG program ends. And then you move on to start your master's top-up, where you start with the research methodologies module and the dissertation project. So just to give you a sense of what the research methodologies module is and what the dissertation project is. So basically what the research methodologies module does is to help you understand how to solve an open-ended problem, which involves defining the problem itself, doing research in order to collect data for that to solve that particular problem, and then go ahead and, of course, figure out what are the various algorithms that you want to use to analyze that data and then solve for that particular problem statement. So as part of the research methodologies module, we will talk about data collection, we will talk about statistics, we will also talk about ethics in data, IP, how can you collect data, etc., to make sure that you understand the basics of setting up a research project. Then we also help you understand how to write a detailed project proposal. Right? For example, most of the problem statements will be, one of the problem statements could be, how do you use image recognition to detect skin cancer? Right? So this could be one of the projects. And now you have to say that, okay, this is a very open-ended problem statement. And now you want to structure this problem statement in terms of exactly what you want to do. So you detail out what kind of research you have done, what kind of journals you have read, what kind of previous research you want to reference and draw from. Based on that, where do you want to collect the data from? Is this data in the public domain? Is this data that you're going to collect? If it is data that you're going to collect, are you following the data ethics in terms of disclosures and anonymity, etc.? Post you collect the data, what is the kind of analysis you're going to do on that data? Based on that analysis, is there any software that you're going to build? And then what's going to be the final outcome or the objective that you want to achieve from this project? So all of that is going to be a detailed project proposal that you write. And post completion of this project proposal, you submit the project proposal. And if that is successfully done, then your research methodologies module is done. And then what you do for the next 5 months is that you work on your actual project proposal to execute that, which is your dissertation project. As part of the dissertation project, you will go ahead and do a lot of independent work on that, but there will be a postdoctorate fellow from Liverpool John Moores University who will help you, who will have continuous touch points with you over the 5 to 6 months that you're doing the project, where he will meet you once every month online to set milestones for the next 1 month and say that, look, over the next 1 month, this is what we should achieve based on your project proposal. And then after 1 month, actually sit with you to give you feedback on what you have done, tell you if you've made the right progress, not made the right progress, and then what the next 4 to 6 weeks should look like. So I think that kind of hand-holding and guidance you will get to make sure that you successfully complete your master's dissertation project. And post completion of this, successful completion of this is when you're going to get your MSc degree in data science from Liverpool John Moores University. So that's the broad curriculum flow, and that's how the 18-month course is structured. So I think I have answered most of the questions. If there are any other questions, I'm more than happy to answer. I'm just looking at, and please feel free to ask your questions on the live chat. Can you explain the teaching process and the grading system? I think an associated question is, I'm worried about my career and job opportunities after having a 4-year gap in my studies. My graduation is 2014. Can you help clarify this issue? So I'll take the first question, which is, can you explain the teaching process and grading system? The teaching process is going to be that, as I said, let's take a week, right? So as I said, you need to commit about 10 hours every week to successfully complete the program, right? Of those 10 hours, you will have about 2 to 3 hours of recorded videos on the learning platform, where the entire flow will be set. You will have to go in, you will have to watch the lectures that are there, you will have to answer some kind of assessment that is in place, which will reinforce your learning. So it will take about 2 to 3 hours every week for that. Post that, there is a lot of independent study that you have to do in terms of reading some research paper, doing some additional reading, coding to make sure that you're solving an assignment. All of that will take about 3 to 4 hours, where there is some amount of independent study and assignments that you have to submit. Then finally, as I said, every week you should budget for about 2 to 3 hours for submitting your case studies, where you have a case study at the end of each course that you have to work on. So there is some amount of time that goes into that. Then finally, what we have is live lectures every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the frequency that is required. These live lectures are either conducted by the faculty or they're conducted by industry experts who come and talk about a certain topic. If you have any questions, you can ask them, and they would help you understand those in more detail. So that's how typically the 10-hour experience every week is broken down, where about 30% of it, 25 to 30% of it is in terms of you going to the lectures. There's another 25 to 30% where you have to do some self-study and submit the assignments that are part of the learning experience. And then there'll be another 30 to 40% which will go into case studies and projects that you will have to submit. And then finally, there is going to be live lectures, which is going to be a 5 to 10% component. The other thing that is going to be part of the teaching process is going to be examinations, right? So after every 2 courses or 1 course, depending on the specific course, there'll be an exam that you will have to give. This exam is going to be online proctored, so you can give it from your laptop from home, but you will have to give access. We use a software called Medal for this, where you have to give the software access to your screen, to your camera and your microphone during the 1 hour, 2 hour test, right? So what we can very clearly identify from that is whether or not you're cheating. If you're opening other tabs, moving around, if there's somebody else in the background, the software can detect whether or not you're cheating. So we use that software, and you have to give an examination every 2 to 3 months after a course. And that is also going to be part of the grading scheme. So basically, the way you will be graded is your performance on the case studies that you submit, is your performance on the graded assignments that are part of the learning experience, and the performance in your examinations. These are the 3 broad components. What we have is a small component also for something like class participation, where we gauge your activity and engagement on the discussion forum and how you ask questions and how you help other students resolve their queries on the discussion forum, and that carries a certain weightage. So that's the entire grading system for the PG program. For the dissertation itself, obviously, because you're going to submit it on your own, the dissertation is going to be judged on various aspects, including the detail of the project proposal, the written and verbal communication as part of your thesis and the presentation of that, and then obviously the detail and the rigor and the quality of the assignment that you have completed and the code that you have completed is going to be the other broad component. So what we can also do is probably share the elements of how a research project is going to be evaluated, but those are going to be the 2 or 3 broad areas across which the project proposal is going to be, or the project itself is going to be evaluated. The next question is, I'm worried about the career and job opportunities after 4 years of gap in my studies. Can you please clarify this? So to be honest, 4 years of gap is not a big gap. People with as much as 25 years of experience are currently taking up the program. Just to give you a sense, 30% of the class size is people who have 10 plus years of experience. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for people across various levels of experience to successfully learn something and then apply it in their career and grow in their career. So the next question is it possible to convert current PGP course into master's program? Yes, so it is possible to convert current PGP program into master's program. If after the completion of this course I want to pursue PhD from IIIT Bangalore, as you mentioned, will I get some assistance from upGrad? Definitely yes. We are more than happy to help you in any way to apply for a PhD at IIIT Bangalore. And also, what can be the career path / scope? As I said, that's a very difficult question for me to answer. I think it depends on a little bit on your background, a little bit on your interest, and how much you're willing to learn. So there are various career paths that we have seen people take. People have moved into different organizations where they're in analytics roles. People have moved to analytics roles in their same organization. People have moved abroad and are pursuing analytics role in some other company. People are pursuing academics where somebody has got a 50 lakh offer from both Google and Adobe, but has then decided to go and do a master's and PhD in the US. So people take various career paths. So the scope of this is extremely wide. I think a lot of it also depends on your background and your interest. But what the course definitely does is sets you up with a very solid foundation to build a successful career in the area of data science. So I think pretty much that's it. Unfortunately, Professor Paulo couldn't join us. I think there is some technology thing. Professor was late from class and we could not join him into the hangout. So we will try and do another session with Professor Paulo and the other faculty members who are involved from LJMU very soon. So sincere apologies for that. And as I said, we will hopefully get back to you soon with a date and time where we'll be able to do something again with an LJMU faculty so that you also get the chance to talk to them and interact with them and hear from them directly. But I was hoping Professor Paulo would do it, but just because we did not touch upon it. Introducing Liverpool John Moores University to all of you. I think we're extremely happy at upGrad to have partnered with Liverpool John Moores University. It is one of the oldest universities in the UK, established in 1823. It has more than 22,000 students, more than 1,000 faculty and staff, has 3 to 5 campuses, and some world-class research that happens at Liverpool John Moores University. The Masters in Data Science program that we're talking about here is going to be delivered by the Department of Applied Mathematics at Liverpool John Moores University. And the head of that department is Professor Paulo, as I mentioned earlier. Just so that you know, the Department of Applied Mathematics is under the engineering faculty at Liverpool John Moores University, and the engineering faculty at Liverpool John Moores University ranks amongst, it was the 12th best engineering school in UK. So it's a very strong school from an engineering standpoint. They have a great faculty in applied mathematics that are delivering this particular Masters in Data Science program. And we're extremely happy to bring this value proposition to our students where they're able to complete the full online masters and get the exact same degree as on campus at 1/10 the cost. And also, I think this is the first cohort that we're launching. So as I mentioned earlier, the load in terms of the dissertation project, etc., is going to be high for the faculty. It's very high for the faculty. So we will restrict the cohort to about 50 students. And there are people who have already given the test and are shortlisted over the weekend. We recently shortlisted about 600 people amongst the 1,200 people who have given the test on the weekend. And we're restricting the early cohort to 50 students. So if you have not given the test, please do it immediately. If you've given the test and you're shortlisted, please block your seat immediately, because only because you have been shortlisted doesn't mean the seat is open. Once the 50 seats are closed, post that we will have to close the cohort. And as I mentioned earlier, the fee point, it's an online program delivered in collaboration with IIIT Bangalore and Liverpool John Moores University. You will get 2 certifications, a PG program from IIIT Bangalore and an MSc from Liverpool John Moores University. The program price point is 4.85 lakh. But for the first cohort, we're giving an early bird scholarship of 35,000. So for you, it will be 4.5 lakh. We have some EMI options available that you can pick based on whatever is most convenient for you. So with that, I think we're also done with time, guys. Once again, thanks a lot for your time. I really apologize for the delay in starting off. We're waiting for Professor Paulo to join, but I think unfortunately it's getting delayed with class, and there was some tech issue because of which he couldn't join later. So really apologize for that again. And hopefully we'll get back to you soon with an opportunity to speak to the LJMU faculty directly. So thanks a lot. Hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And if anybody is interested in the program, please do immediately go ahead and do it, because we only have a limited set of 50 students we're accepting for the first cohort. And we already have about 1,200 people who have given the test and 600 people who are shortlisted. So with that, thanks a lot for your time and hope you have a good evening. Thank you.